What's going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of Not Cool in High School. I'm gonna be doing a movie review here in a moment, and I'm gonna take up the screen right now. But then very soon I'll be adding in my co-host, who's getting ready doing their own content while we film this. So we're recording two album reviews that are going to be two separate episodes for you guys to check out. But the first one we're recording is Chappell Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. I don't really know much about them. I just, before the show started, I was kind of reading up and learning some things. I'm very impressed by a lot of it. So I'm going to kind of pull from Wikipedia a little bit, and I was listening to some interviews with them. So I will pull from Wikipedia, which I know is factual, because we all know Wikipedia cannot be an amazing source all the time. But The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess is released on September 22nd, 2023. It was recorded between 2018 and 2023. It's a pop, dance, alternative pop, and electro album. It's 49 minutes and 8 seconds. The label is Amusement and Island label. Producers, I'm not going to go through all that because I don't even know that stuff. I'm not that in-depth when it comes to music and movies. I'm not like a producer, all that. Maybe one day I'll change, but who knows. Some of the singles from this album, Naked in Manhattan, My Kink is Karma, Pheromone, Casual, Kaleidoscope, Red Wine Supernova, and Hot to Go, with the most recent addition, I guess, being the Pink Pony Club, which is blowing up. But I don't think it was a single. I don't think it was released as a single. These are all released as singles. It has pretty decent reviews. 7 out of 9, 85 out of 100. 4 or 5 stars here between all these different places. It's up for tons of awards that we'll get to at the end. So a little bit about the album itself. It was released in September 22, as we talked about, by Amusement and Imprint Records. But when she first started, she was actually signed to Atlantic Records, and she was 18 years old, got pulled from her house and moved to Los Angeles, started doing all of her stuff. And it was like folk-leaning project, but when she started working with the new producer and doing singles like Pink Pony Club and all that stuff, it changed its identity. And she was actually ended up dropped from her label during the pandemic, because it was one of those times where if you weren't making money at that point in time, they didn't keep you. And she had to move back home. She had to get a job back at like her local drive-in. So she went from like signed music label artist to kind of restarting over, which is kind of inspiring, because now she's super young and has a pretty decent head on her shoulders, and she's killing it. And I think she's gonna kill it. She's gonna do really well when it comes to that, because I think once you kind of hit the bottom and then come back up, it's a different experience. But from Missouri. And so around that time too, the album kind of inspired her when it came to her own journey of self-discovery. It navigated love, heartbreak, and the embrace of her own sexual identity. I'm sorry. Themes that would become central to the record. Ronan stated that the rise and fall of a Midwest princess allowed her to come up with the concept and come to acceptance of her queerness, and that her stage name and personal is a character compared to like a Ziggy Stardust or a David Bowie. So will she remain Chappell Roan, or was this character changed throughout the course of her career? Possibly, because that's kind of what she was inspired when it comes to this. But yeah, like I said, up for tons of awards, which we'll get back into more at the end of this. So we're going to go through each song. I'm not going to play the music here, obviously, because I'm not allowed to, but we're going to listen to a song and then kind of cut back in and talk about what we thought of that song. I'm going to keep the recording going the entire time. The editing on this is going to be a nightmare, because Lily's video is going to just go continuously, and it's going to be more inspired by her makeup look. So we're going to take her whole footage from this podcast and time lapse it and give it to her for her content. So make sure you go follow her on WitchCraftsByLilly. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to turn my camera off here and restart, and then bring Lily's camera in, and we're going to talk about this album, why we picked it, and all that great stuff. So give us 1 second and we'll be right back. We're back. Not Cool in High School. Lily has now joined me on screen. Already my camera looks insanely blue. I don't know how it already did it.
I put the pink lights on.
I know. It just, I don't know if this camera's just bugging out because of the color, but we're going to rock with it. So we're going to be doing Chappell Roan, the Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. We're going to go be on track by track. We're going to cut the music out so you guys don't hear that and I don't get flagged. But we can't really read a trailer on it. I listened to some interviews by her. I have heard some songs. So what's your first take or our first take on her as an artist without listening to her full album based on the stuff you've heard?
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say is I know that this song came out, or this album rather came out a few years ago. Hot to Go was huge, and it to me was overplayed. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know who this Chappell Roan is, but like, it was catchy, but it was like I felt like it got overplayed to the point where I was like, I don't even want to listen to the rest of her album, and that was bad on me, because now here we are 2 years later, and I'm like, okay, I need to listen to this, and I'm very excited about it now knowing more about her.
Yeah, I've heard Hot to Go, but mine I'm gonna go in with my first take of, I think she's very talented. I think I probably have listened to Pink Pony Club more than I've ever listened to Hot to Go, to be completely honest. And I think it's fine. Like, I know, we talked about in the car where like Lily was like, oh, she's the next big thing. This is unbelievable. She's this rise, and I'm like, all right, she's a young 18, 19-year-old girl, maybe younger, older now. I don't know.
She's like 25 now.
She's what?
She's like 25 now.
20, okay, in her 20s. And I'm like, it happens all the time. They bring in a new face, they get them ready, and then they fucking discard them when they no longer are of use. It's hard to, in anything, entertainment, sports, to have longevity, because if you're not performing right then and there, you're gone.
Right.
And it's even worse now than ever, because money is so crazy where if they don't make money immediately, they abandon ship. I think she's very good. I think her voice is very good. From what I heard of Pink Pony Club and Hot to Go, I don't know if, for me, going in firsthand, I don't know if it's much of her voice that's compelling. I think she has a great voice, but I don't think she has a voice that, like, if you listen to her, you're like, oh, that's Chappell Roan. Like, to me anyway, I don't think I've listened to enough of her that I can pick her voice out of a lineup.
I think after you listen to this,
Sure,
you definitely will be able to.
because I consumed more. But also, I will say that I think what makes her allure better is her style, is her art, and her songwriting. I think her songwriting is probably her best attribute to her as a musician.
And I think I said this, you were saying, we talked a little bit about her in the car, because I was like, I'm really very quickly falling in love with her. I think she is the next Lady Gaga. I think that she's very much on that same level, where she's talented in multiple different facets. And I think whether she is as Chappell Roan or something else in the future, I still think she's going to be she's going to be a household name. She already is a household name.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless I want that for her. Like, I'm never going to sit here and say I don't think an artist should deserve anything, or I think people are like, everyone consumes art differently, and just because an art isn't for you, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not stuff you're into. And
Right.
and I think I'm going to challenge myself by listening to more movies and watch more things and take in new things and review things that are out of my comfort zones. I think that makes you a better rounded person as well. So when did you first hear about this, and how? I'll start off. I first heard about this at drag shows. This is where I consumed Chappell Roan. We went to see a Miss Misfit show, and Hot to Go played, and then we went to another drag show, and Hot to Go played, and then we went to Pride, and Hot to Go played. It was like that year's Pride anthem. It was
Yeah.
the dance, the I thought it was like the gay. It was a gayer YMCA.
HOTT.
Yeah.
OGO.
Like
G-O.
the Village People made a gay anthem, but then don't claim their gay, like they don't claim it as a gay anthem, and then they went and toured the world with Donald Trump. Not trying to make this about that, but like now there's like a new
There's
gayer,
a new better
there's a
version.
gayer YMCA, and it's Hot to Go, and I don't think that's I'm not saying that in a negative
it's a
way.
beautiful thing.
I think
It's a beautiful
I don't
thing.
use gay. So here's the thing: I don't use gay anymore as a negative connotation. Like, I think it describes something, but I don't think I don't think it is a negative.
Right.
I hope that I hope I have the pass to say that. But
You don't use it as an
it's not
insult.
as I'm not making it demeaning or lesser than when I
Right.
say it's gayer. I think people who still use gay in a negative connotation will think
In a non-ironic way.
I think they'll think I'm doing it that way, but I'm not.
Right.
When I say something's gay, I mean, oh, that's definitely queer culture.
Like, wrestling is gay.
Wrestling is so gay.
Like, Ghost is gay.
Ghost is super gay, and I love it.
It's just, yeah, exactly like you said, it's the culture.
Yeah. Or even if it's, I don't know if Ghost would identify as gay, but I think they're definitely allies.
No, absolutely.
'Cause I don't
but
know-
I mean,
I don't know enough about Tobias
like
to-
I'm not saying that Tobias Forge is gay. I'm saying that the concept of Ghost overall is very like, it's very theatrical. It's very dramatic. It's very
the
gay.
devil, and he also the devil. See, Jesus may not like the gays, but the devil loves you. Come home. Yeah, but yeah. So that's where I kind of heard about it. What about you?
I'm sorry, about what?
How did you first learn about Chappell? Or
Oh, I'll be honest. I think the first time I heard Chappell Roan was probably TikTok. Like, went huge on TikTok.
that's a good good
And
pop
that's
culture
probably why
vibe.
I thought it was so overplayed, was because it was just like you couldn't go more than like skipping through two videos, and it would be another Chappell Roan
Yeah.
like
All right.
themed thing. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into it. The first song on this album is called Pheromone. I hope am I saying that right? No, it's Farah Minionen. I'm probably saying that wrong.
I don't. Hold on.
Yeah,
One.
you're not
moment.
helping me out here.
One
You're
moment.
not prepared with your phone.
Phenomenon,
the light,
isn't it? No.
Is it
Hold on.
fen? Like it looks like fem. It might be phenomenon. I'm an idiot. It might be that. I'm dumb. Sometimes
Lord.
dyslexia kicks in, and I have a hard time
It gets
pronouncing
like
words.
that sometimes. Hold on. I brought
I'm
up
being
the
open
other
and
album
honest. I
review
struggle
we're
with
doing.
that. I struggle with speech sometimes as a podcaster, and the color on this camera is driving me fucking crazy. It keeps going from purple to. I'm just gonna.
It's
throw-
Phenomenon.
All right, Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Okay, I probably didn't say that right again. All right.
You did. You got it that time.
All right, so we're gonna go to the first song. This one has 253,000 plays on Spotify. It's 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So, yeah, we'll be right back. I'm gonna and talk about this song once we're done. All right, we're back. Phenomenon.
We're back.
What'd you think?
I love it. I'm over here like,
Have you heard that song before?
yes. Well, so full disclosure, I've listened to this whole album. I downloaded it maybe about a month ago, and I've been listening to it on repeat. So.
Oh,
But
okay,
I'm excited that we're.
So what do
doing
you get
this.
out of this song?
I think it's very much like get ready because we're coming.
Okay.
Like I think it's the. I'm not gonna say like you're trying to silence us, but like for being the opening song of the album, it's like that you know fully what to expect from the album.
Okay. So I get a few different notes on this, and my perception of what I feel is probably not right, but it is how I feel, and that's what we're here for, right? I'm ABJ. You fucking love me. You're here for my takes. So my take is I get Barbie movie with this song. Like
Okay.
I feel like realistically, I feel like there's been more of a new woman. Hear me roar, fucking we can do it movement that I think really started. And I know this album was made kind of in that time frame, but for me, when it really caught on was like the Barbie movie, where I feel like women really like stood up and I actually, let me take it back. I think women really started saying go fuck yourself with the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Amen.
So let me start with that. That's where the fucking movement, we're like, yo, we're in a situation where we could be silenced here. And it wasn't just women, it was the culture, it was gay culture, it was LGBTQ, it was this administration really said like, no, you're gonna be silenced, and women and people of the culture and allies alike all said no. And I feel like this movement, this phenomenon is like this, the Barbie movie, like I get Barbie movie notes, but I also, this song that opened up where it's like, oh, she's a Taylor Swift. She's gonna be very poppy. And listen, I've been proven wrong with Taylor Swift too. I thought Taylor Swift was made for little girls and made for kids, and Taylor's not about that too. She'll talk about sex and everything like that and adult content. And I think Chappell kind of hits you in the beginning with that really, really soft, we were first young and never saw you, like that very Taylor Swift-ish, like innocent vibe. And then she's like, play a fucking beat. And then she starts talking about getting guy making it hot and all these other stuff. And it's like, I think it really sets a tone of like, I may be young, I may be.
I think she's talking about a girl. She's been about being with a girl. Like.
Well, she said multiple times in the song, he and use.
Yeah, but she's talking about like the differences, I feel like, between going with the guy and then going with the girl.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I just think she really opens up and she's letting you know that she's younger, but she's not. It's not a bubble gum.
Just because she's young doesn't mean she's innocent.
Yeah, and she's not catering to a younger demographic or younger crowd. You know what I mean? I think she's singing at. I think she's ahead of her time when it comes to where she is mentally, of who she is as a person and finding herself. That's where I'm at. I gave it a 3.5. I think it's a really good song.
I thought we were gonna do like a overall album.
We'll do track by track, and then we can say how it makes us feel. We can come back to you. Come back? All right.
Yeah.
All right, next song on the list. And I was reading the lyrics there too. Like I follow along with the lyrics. Yeah, like so baby, let's get freaky, get kinky, let's get the bed get squeaky. Baby, come on over. Why don't you come on over? Red wine supernova and falling into me, which is another song later, right? Red wine supernova.
Red Wine Supernova is the next song.
Really? Because she ends with those two lyrics, red wine supernova fall right into me. No, the next song is After Midnight. Sorry. Let me go back. Make sure we're not skipping. It is Red Wine Supernova. All right. Here we go. Next song. Red Wine Supernova. So that's interesting. The lyrics for the one song lead into the next. I like that. That's clever. Here we go. Red Wine.
Very Grateful Dead.
Huh?
I said how very Grateful Dead.
I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan. I didn't know they did that either. Anyway. Red Wine Supernova. 441 million plays. Yeah, and over, it's just crazy. Numbers in this are insane. 3 minutes, 12 seconds. Let's get into it. Red Wine Supernova. All right, we're back after that song. So I was wrong.
Do you see where you pulled the Grateful Dead now?
No, the last song did not end with those lyrics.
Correct. I said how Grateful Dead of you because, and I'm laughing because of the lyrics of the song. I don't care that you're a stoner because I feel like you just got too stoned and started really reading the lyrics from the next song.
Yeah, the next song already started, and I was looking through at stuff, and yeah, so I made that mistake.
I mean,
so,
it was funny.
So what do you think of Red Wine Supernova? What do you get from it?
So first of all, I think this is where I kind of pull that Lady Gaga, where I say she gives that Lady Gaga for me, for the song You and I, where it's kind of like starts out as kind of an almost country song and then goes into more of like a pop ballad.
Okay.
But I love this song.
If there's any question if the first song was about a guy, the second one's totally not.
1000% about a girl.
Yeah, this one's definitely about a girl. So I think this is definitely she's showing maybe her sexuality is changing and she's thinking about other things or having experiences where she's definitely finding her queerness, which is interesting. I like in the hook when it like the beat is there, but then they replace the beat with an acoustic guitar. You kind of hear it faintly in the background, like like the strumming. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's a banger. I give this one also a 3.5. I guess I protect that 4.
Yeah.
4s for me are 5. So if you hear me saying 3.5, that's a really really good score on my 5 scale. But I like it. I think it's a bop. It's definitely a song that I can see drag queens performing and dancing to, and not just leaning into the hit songs. Like I think this
entire album
can be performed.
Yes.
Okay. I so far I would say Red Wine Supernovas I like more than Phenomenon, but I think they're both good songs. But they still are the same score. Anything else you want to add to this one?
No.
Nope. Nothing. All right. Well, let's get to the next one, which is going to be After Midnight. All right. This is After Midnight. For me, I get like she's out partying, she's exploring, she's finding herself, she's becoming now like socially active is where I'm getting with this one. And when she's out there, she's really finding out she maybe is bisexual, pansexual, whatever that may lie into. Yeah, she's just partying, she's being young, she's living free, she's finding herself, finding who she is. Maybe, and I know she kind of talked about, maybe I have a little bit of more insight on this because she talked about this song on an interview we listened to where after midnight, nothing good happens after midnight, but for her it was like some of her best times. And I know some people might think, well, that's debauchery and the craziness, but that's part of living and growing up and experiencing the world and experiencing life. And I don't know, I think it was a cool song. I'm also trying to, like, I'm taking notes as I do this, and I don't know how to erase on my when I'm drawing on my notepad, so that's fun. So yeah, After Midnight. What do you think?
I think it gives very. It's almost like I don't want to compare her to other people, but it's a very disco-y song.
I got disco as well.
And almost like I feel like Dua Lipa is in the same vein. It's a very Dua Lipa-y song. It's got that rhythm that wants to, like, it's very catchy, but it's also very easy to just kind of find yourself dancing to it. And I think that the other thing I really like about the song, like you were saying, like she's exploring, but I think she's kind of like not even just exploring, but she's saying like, oh, again, I guess not putting words, but how I take it is like, oh, you think I want to be with a guy? Well, let me switch that up on you. I'll go be with a girl now. You think I'm going to be with a girl? Well, let me switch up on that too, and I'll go be with a guy now. Like I'm going to do me, whether you're thinking about me in this way or whatever way you're thinking about me. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to do me.
I will say this: if someone came up to me at a bar and said, "Hey, can I kiss your girlfriend if you don't mind?" or came up to you and said, "Can I kiss your boyfriend?" that would be my new favorite person. I was like, "What? All right, let's party." No, I thought it was fun. I definitely get that club vibe, and I don't go to a lot of clubs, but that's just, I don't know where I'm at. It's a little fun little banger. I'm into it. I'm also at a 3.5 of this. I didn't hate this song. If it came on, I wouldn't mind it. So far, we're 3 songs in, and I wouldn't mind if this album played like this all the way through. Like, there's not a song that, like, I think is a low moment. I will say this: I get a little Dua Lipa what you're saying there. I still get a lot of Taylor Swift when I hear her, right now, as of now.
Do you mean in her voice?
Her voice and style, because I think she's very folk poppy.
I can't
It's
disagree
not a bad,
with
it's
that.
not a bad
No, I'm not
comparison.
saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think that I think it's still very different. I could see I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think that when you listen to the lyrics and stuff, like, I think that Taylor Swift does talk a lot about a heartbreak, but a lot about how to be independent, whereas I think Chappell Roan is very like, I'm not going to talk about all the sadness. I'm just here to be like, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's ahead of the curve when it comes to putting herself out there to the public quicker than Taylor Swift has been.
Yeah.
But I definitely think their style and their voice style and structure is similar to me.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, next song, Coffee. All right, Coffee just played.
I'm always like this close to being done with whatever color I'm on. Then you start again.
Yeah, this is definitely not a Taylor vibe. You know who I get this one?
Billie Eilish.
No, Adele.
Oh, I get Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still love Adele too.
So this is your first maybe breakup. Maybe the guy in the first song is her love interest, her guy, her normalcy to the human world, where it's a guy versus girl.
Comfortability.
Well, I'm gonna say societal norm too, where it's like, oh, you're a girl, you should be with a guy, the whole nine, where it just feels like everything, but maybe she has a little bit of a sexual side when she's with him. But then the second song, she kind of goes to the club, finds her own sexuality, tries girls, tries guys, and maybe has a different experience with women that maybe guys don't. And then this guy, just seeing like maybe a lot of their relationship was more sexual charged instead of like more mentally connected. They were more physically connected, where every time they go to hang out, it kind of always leads to sex instead of conversation or feeling like she's wanted or accepted. And that's kind of what I get out of this song. But also, like, I think guys are, and I'm not defending dudes here, but I'm maybe giving perspective from the dude. But like, if a dude is maybe a very sexual person or we're like cavemen. Like we want steak, beer, and sex. Like we're not hard creatures to figure out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think at the core we're very dumb and simplistic, where women are not. And I think especially if you cater to what a guy normally likes, and then they don't know how to rewire that, and they think that you enjoy that, and they don't know how to express themselves, because also we're dumb, simplistic creatures, but also we're not in touch with our emotions as we should be, and we're not in touch with how it makes other people feel. So I think there is guys who are monsters, and then I think there's guys who just aren't. They don't have themselves figured out, and they then project that onto a lot of females. Where that, you know what I mean? Like I don't think we overthink it as much, but I definitely, from a female perspective, I think Coffee sums up that thing of like, hey, sometimes maybe chill out with the physical contact, chill out with it doesn't have to be sex all the time. Like, learn about her, feel about her, understand where she's at, be more there for her. And I think Coffee's a great way of conveying that.
I don't disagree with that. I'm not, first of all, I love that everything pretty much that you just said, because that is very much, I've already been in that situation. Mm-hmm. So like that is very much like, the situation I was in, rather. So that situation was the first person who came to my mind when listening to this song.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's very much that feeling of like, why can't I just be more than having sex with? Like,
Yeah.
like why can't?
Well, can I
why
kind
is
of
it not?
can I kind of not put you out there, but maybe
No.
I'm just saying
No.
I think you've had a
No.
lot of coffee experiences.
Yeah, well, I think that not even just I disagree with that.
Really?
I don't think I've had a lot of coffee experiences. I think that I've had a few, but I think that I get a lot of friendship coffee things where it's like I don't even. Man, I'm trying not to get emotional right now.
Just like from when we first started dating, you had a lot of guys who were still hitting you up and talking to you.
Listen,
and,
that's because I got this BPD. You know what I mean?
There you go. Well, you're saying it. You're saying I have a BPD, but these guys maybe at that point in time really enjoyed this physical connection, maybe looked at you differently because of the industries you were in, the things you were a part of.
Correct, but I think that you're so far wrong too. The person that the situation that you know about, I was never in a sexual industry when that happened. Like that, my point is that when, I'm not even talking about my situation anymore. Going back to the song, I feel that everyone has had that feeling of it's not even just, hey, you can't meet me at this level. It's I had so much more feeling for you and I expected more.
Yeah.
And I know that if I put myself out there again, I'm just going to get hurt by you again and I can't trust you. I think she says that in there, maybe if I trusted you.
Yeah.
But like, I can't trust you with that part of me again because I've given that to you and you've burned me so many times.
Yeah, totally. And I think this is a thing that, like, once again, if a guy is understanding, in touch with himself, understands other people, has feelings and emotions, and not always block out their own, because that's, fellas, that's a toxic trait we have. That I think more guys would be receptive to this conversation. But I think a lot of dudes out there, I know, and I don't think it's going to get any better with the climate we're in right now, unfortunately. But I think it is healthy to learn about yourself and learn about just not you or how you conduct yourself to other people around you, but also being understanding of your women. And I think more women should be heard and understood. And
I feel like I feel like you just turned this into such a straight thing, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But I mean it is.
I mean, I'm coming from a straight perspective.
Absolutely. But like,
so real quick.
I think that everybody should learn about their partners, not just partners. Men learning about.
I'm just coming from. Listen, this song's very girl power. The song's very.
It is,
pride
but it's
community.
also very not. It's very much. We're not talking.
Can I just get a thought out real quick? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm just saying this song and this album represents sexuality. This album represents bisexuality, community, womanhood. And a straight dude, nine times out of 10, is not going to listen to this album because it's not their cup of tea. It's not what they want to hear. But I'm saying, as a straight dude who's open-minded, who wants to learn about things, who have put himself in situations to learning about the community and actually listening to women and hearing what they go through. And I'm trying to give the perspective from the other side of the coin. That's all I'm doing. Go ahead, finish what you were saying now.
I don't think anywhere in here did she say he.
Yes, 100%
And
she
all
did.
I'm saying is that, like, I think the point here is that, like, anybody can hurt you. And that's what I'm saying, like, even in a friendship way of, like, well, I'm not saying that it's not sexually charged or anything like that, but in the vein of, I'll meet you here, I'll do these things with you because I know that this is where I feel safe with you. And like, I feel that same way with friendships. Like, hey, yeah. I'll go hang out with you in a public setting, but I don't want to hang out with you at your house. Yeah. Like,
And I stand corrected, she did not say he in that song. My brain just went to he.
And that's why I was like, your turn. I didn't mean this, and that's why I was saying I don't mean it in a nasty way, just that like I said, the first time I heard that song, I did initially think of the person that hurt me in that same way, it was a man who made me feel like it was all about sex. And like I said, not saying that this isn't sexually charged, because it definitely is, but listening to it, the more that I listen to it, the more I connect it with other relationships as well, not just
that's fair.
A sexual relationship.
4 out of 5. I have my first 4.
This one honestly brought me to tears the first time I heard it. I would give this one a full 5.
Yeah. Good song. All right, next one up is going to be Casual. All right, Casual. Sorry, maybe my straight brain, but this once again feels like a...
I think this ties into the last one, though.
Yeah, dude. I see this as a straight relationship Like guy, girl?
Nope.
No?
Nope. I see this as like almost like a in the closet. Like let's just keep this on the down low, but I still want everything that like comes in a relationship, but I don't want everybody to know about it.
And I was trying to put myself there too, of maybe this girl brings her around, brings her in almost like a girlfriend, but is not willing to tell her family that she is with this girl. Here's a straight dude question right here. Because the lyric that says, I fucked you in the bathroom where you went when we went to dinner.
Yes, I would still say I fucked a girl even if I didn't have a penis or a strap on.
So that's where my straight brain kicks in. If I went in...
I knew that that's exactly what you were gonna ask.
Right?
I would still
so
say
like if I went into if we went to a bathroom and we just did like, for a guy, fucking a girl is using your dick. Right? But in other relationships, even gay ones, not every dude, I don't think every gay dude considers
I have had
penetration to a orifice as sex.
So if I've been naked with a girl and she didn't have a strap on and we've been doing stuff and both of us come to climax,
you fucked.
But I didn't use a dildo, or I didn't use.
I'm rewriting.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah,
my straight brain.
That's how I say it. Like, yeah, like me and her hooked up, we fucked. Like, yeah, whatever. Even if whether I'm, penetrating her.
Yeah, penetration. We're talking about that on the podcast. I like this song. Once again, I think there's a lack of communication. Maybe there is the element of the dude where he doesn't know if he wants that commitment, and she kind of wants the commitment, and that's a whole thing there. Or on the other side, we talked about how it can be with, maybe the girl is not open to being gay in front of her family and friends.
What if I flip this around on you? Like the way that I read this, or originally listening to it, because I did, like I said, I didn't really listen to her straight out the gate. I kind of got to know more about her, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a second shot. I feel like she wrote this. Not saying that she did, but I almost put myself in the perspective of like, what if she was with the girl and this was the girl writing this note to her as like, you need to come out now. And so you need to just, I'm sitting here introducing you to my family and everything, but we're just keeping it casual. And like, I think that her writing this song was kind of like getting it out. You know what I mean?
What are we ranking casual?
I would give this song, I'd give this one like a 4. Like listen, this overall album, I know we're going to do this later, but if I could, I would give every one of these a 5.
Yeah, I think this song's a 4. This is going to break the 4 for me as well. I think she is a brilliant songwriter. I think earlier when I was reading that she was getting into like folk music, you can tell that because like a lot of folk people write some deep ass shit.
She's Midwest, She's from Missouri, right?
Yeah, very good songwriter.
She kind of has that, like, the tones of like the Midwest.
And
are still
there's lyrics
everything.
in her songs too that are very explicit, and she's unapologetic for it. But she doesn't make it a big deal when she's saying it in the song, so it doesn't come off as a big deal. But like,
it's not like when somebody says like fuck, right? And they're like fuck, like they got to put the emphasis on it. She just kind of is a casual.
Yeah.
It's just second nature. It's not like let me put the emphasis on it.
Yeah.
This is just me talking.
All right. Well, we just hit 5 songs in. We're at song 6, which is close to the halfway point of this album. There's 14 songs total. So let's get into the next one. What it's Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. So super graphic. I'm excited to hear what the fucking lyrics of this one's gonna be. Also on this album, by the way, the last Coffee only 61 million plays, which I know is like only right. But like compared to Red Wine Supernova and then After Midnight has 136 million, Coffee to only have 61, I think is a criminal. I think more people should listen to that song. And maybe some people don't because I think it's maybe people should hear it, and that's usually where it comes into your art, where like the good stuff with substance isn't always going to be consumed. But Casual is back up to the big numbers with 366 million. Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl, it's going to be at 150 million plays, which is still fucking amazing. Every song has over 1 million plays. That's bonkers. Good for her. All right, here we go. Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. All right. Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. I feel attacked. I feel attacked in the song as a straight white dude because what I get out of this song, and I don't mean that as I'm actually offended, but what I get out of this song is where normal society of man-woman relationship, and he has to be conservative and so do you, and we have to be more status quo. and she's young and she doesn't want to be that, and she's finding herself and discovering who she is, and she wants to go to the gay club and fucking pop some drugs and get fucked up and just let her inhibitions go and go on the dance floor and just be inhibitedly herself, where this guy was kind of just like dressed like me, just in jeans and a t-shirt, and doesn't want to dance on the floor because dancing's not for me, and maybe I'm holding her back on her experience, or that guy is holding her back in that experience. I've been that guy.
Tell me how you really feel right now.
That's what the song gets to me, and I just see her on the dance floor having a good time and just being. She doesn't have to check in with somebody. She doesn't have to make herself feel like she's making other people uncomfortable by being herself, and she's out there having a fucking blast. And this is the song where I said, here's the Gaga, where I feel like the Lady Gaga, like where she's becoming empowered. I feel like this is for me. This is where Chappell just like
switched.
She broke out
She
of her
opened you
cocoon.
up.
She's out of her cocoon, and she's finding herself, and this is a dope ass song. And I think the bass and the club banger and all that stuff is really, really good. I'm out of 4 for this as well.
Yeah, I would give this one a 5. It's a 5.
Anything you feel about it?
I love this song. I feel like it is very, like you said, just kind of very empowered. Like very like, I'm me. I don't care. If you want to sit in the corner, sit in the corner, but I'm going to be over here doing my thing.
The lyric is, we're going to leave Earth and you can't come. I took that as they're all popping something. And if you don't want to be a part of that, fine, but we're leaving and see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you don't want to be here, good, because we don't want you here. Don't bring our mood down.
Yeah, maybe it's not technically taking something, but maybe
just like
them
going
opening
on
themselves up by being on the dance floor and dancing.
Or not even just that, just like saying like, I'm enjoying myself, and if you want to sit there and be a negativity, but do it away from me, because like I'm here to have fun, and that's what I'm gonna do.
I have that vibe too. Like when you go to the club and you go to the bar, I try to let you do that. Like if you want to go on the dance floor and have a good time, like it's not my thing, but please go do that. I'd love to see you in that light. But for me, when it comes to my content and wrestling shows, or I go to the bar, or I'm hanging out with my friends, or I'm at for me, I just like to bounce from person to person to person, and it's always hard to maybe bring someone with you or your partner to all bounce around with you. So in those situations where sometimes I offended past relationships or girls or people, or even just friends I bring out. When I'm in public, I just want to feel everyone's energy. I want to talk to everybody. I want to say hi to everybody. I usually have multiple people that I care about in one location, and they may not all be in the same group of friends, or maybe I'm not saying they're not all friends, but everyone kind of goes to their own corner, and I like to bounce between the corners of people because I like everyone there, and it's hard to always have someone tag along. So I think the best way is like, that's my version of being on the dance floor and being myself, and like not tagging somebody along, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're trying to do that as a loner, though. I don't think that's the same thing.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not saying that you're trying to do that as a loner. Like, this is saying, like, all of my friends and me, we're going to go do, like, we're leaving Earth and you can't come, is, like, because you want to be by yourself. Like, you're saying, I'd rather do it by myself than bring people along.
Well, no, because I know it makes people feel weird too. Like for me, if I'm hanging out with somebody, if I go hang out with you and a group of your friends, and you guys have 10 years of friendship experience, and you guys like to reminisce and talk about that, and I'm kind of sitting there like, oh, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. That's cool, you know what I mean? But I'm also a conversationalist who will learn more about the situation, where some people are afraid to interject in the conversation, and then they feel left out of everything. So I kind of just like, well, instead of you being left out, I'm going to go do my thing, and you go make your own friends, and we'll kind of meet in the middle. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. I don't know if that's the right way. Maybe
I'm just saying that's like the opposite of what the song's talking about.
I'm just saying, for me, this is what I get out of it. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just.
Yeah. There it goes. All right. Anything else with this one? Nope. All right. Let's go to our next one. It's going to be. I don't know if we've ever heard of this one. This one has 626 million plays. It's called Hot to Go. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It might be a popular one. Hot to Go. All right. When you listen to music, do you visualize like a music video in your head of like them performing it?
So here, yes, and let me tell you why. Because I haven't watched a music video. I haven't watched MTV or VH1 since I was in high school. I don't even know what music videos look like anymore, but I always just imagine people dancing things out.
Yeah. You know where I immediately went in my head to this, where I feel like this is the modern day version of a song, and...
The Macarena.
No.
Oh.
No. It has a creepy vibe to it. the brum, 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 brum. It sounds like old horror, but like funky horror. That
Okay, like kind of like
you know where I get a visual of this, and I just think Chappell with the bright red hair and the white
Scooby-Doo.
face. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay. This is like the Time Warp, where it's upbeat, fun, kind of sexy, but like I could just see a room full of misfit drag queens and weird dress and like fashion and like people just being them, and Chappell Rowe is like Dr. Frankenfurter doing like kind of conducting the people dancing. I don't know, but it has that bass line kind of gives me like an old horror vibe. That's just me. I'm probably the only one who thinks that, but like
I mean,
I feel
so
if you
like
take
I
this
said,
music and
I
put it
don't
over
know.
top of Rocky Horror Picture
I
Show.
would call it horror though. Like I mean, yes, I guess I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me think of the song differently. Hot to Go, I'm going to give that a 3.5. I think it's a good song. I understand why it's as popular as it is, but those songs are fun, but they're not as, they don't speak to me as much as like Ultra Hot Modern Girl and Coffee and Casual, where it's like there's some feeling there. You know what I mean?
Depth.
Where are you at with Hot to Go? What do you think of it?
Like I said, I think this was the one that was like overplayed for me.
Yeah.
And I would agree that it's more of like a simpler one, and as far as like depth of feelings go.
Yeah. It's still a fun song.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's still very catchy.
My
I
kink.
dance to a lot more now than I did when it first came out.
Yeah. My Kink is My Karma is our next song. Track number 8. We're kind of flying through it here. This one here, 232 million plays. No features on this album either. Not one collaboration, not one feature. So maybe I'll take a quick break here and open up a little dialogue with you while you're now covering your mouth.
Now that I'm almost finished.
Yeah. Who would you want to see Chappell Roan collaborate with and make music with? Like, I think the obvious ones is like Gaga, right? You would want to hear her and Gaga collaborate. Her Adele, I think, would be fun to collaborate and make music together. I think her and Billie Eilish would be really fun to make music together. Like, I think all those powerful women who are in the scene now, Pink, I think her and Pink would be a fun collaboration. What was the other one you said earlier? The girl that you said is giving your vibes with Doja Cat, like her and Doja, her and Megan, like the Stallion. I think that'd be a fun collaboration.
I mean, I don't know when I said Doja Cat with her.
Was it not Doja? You said somebody else, like a different musical artist that song gave you vibes of that person. I thought it was Doja Cat. Maybe I'm not.
I said Billie Eilish on the last one, but
yeah.
I don't remember.
Is there any other people out there you want to see her collaborate with?
Ashniko.
I seen Reading here, and it's the Reading Festival. So that's definitely not one that we're going to be near. So right now she's overseas touring.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not anything coming up close to us anytime soon. All right. Anything else you want to add before we go to the next one? Collaboration-wise?
Ashniko, I said.
I heard you.
Oh, okay. No, that's it. You said pretty much all of them.
Yeah. Interesting. To make a hit album with no features is, I think, in the newer generation, people are like, oh, you're better because you didn't have to have a feature.
But I mean,
I like when people collaborate.
I'm not saying that I don't like when people collaborate, but I think that I like her music because it's not dependent on. We don't need two great people. I think that it's very much like her whole thing is me just being me, and I don't need anybody else to just be me.
Okay. I can see that. I like I wish music's the only genre for me that I feel like they don't collaborate as much, because I think there's that stigma of collaboration sometimes of like, oh, you have to do a track with somebody to get popular. That's like, I don't know, I think music is held to a different standard. I think more like it's like a dream matchup, right? So wrestling, I want to see two people wrestle who I think would be great chemistry together. I think the same way in music. Like, it depresses the fuck out of me that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B hate each other, because I think if they made an album together, it would be fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
Like,
I agree.
and then even throw Megan Thee Stallion in there. If we got Nicki, Megan, and fucking Cardi on a track, that fucking album would be the greatest thing of all time. fucking throw little Kim in there. Like, I think it happens more with rap because of the beefs get too crazy, but rock bands get weird beefy too.
Everybody gets beef.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Swifties versus like it happens in every genre of music.
Give me 2 seconds here. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we're gonna play our next song. Number 8 on the album is gonna be "My Kink Is My Karma." All right, "My Kink Is Karma." Where are you at with this one?
Here's your Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say it's the Taylor Swift song, but it's also the Taylor Swift song after a hit song on the album. Like when you have the song that you know and you identify with, and then they hit you a song after, which is still a good song, but it doesn't grab you as much as the hit that it was on the album beforehand. So like "Hot to Go" gets you like, oh, I know this one, and then it hits you with something like this. And I'm not saying it's a bad song, but I think it's like a filler song for the next, like to keep the album pace moving.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
I hope I described that properly. I don't hate the song, but it didn't stand out like the others.
Right.
If I had my low moment of the album so far, or the song that's my least favorite, it would be this one.
This is my least favorite song on the album, on the entire album.
All right, so I'm not off base when I say that.
No.
Yeah, I gave this a 3 out of 5.
I give this one like a 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think I still think
it's okay, but
I still think the songwriting is really good. But I feel like I've heard this song before. That makes sense?
Yes.
I'm not being hateful when I say that.
No, it's just, it sounds like so it's not, You've heard the music already, you've heard the melody already, you've heard the rhythm, the cadence of it. It sounds familiar, so it's harder for me myself to go, okay, let me listen to the words that are here, instead of me going, hold on, let me sing the songs from the other song that I know that has the same rhythm, and I get like the two storylines mixed up, so to speak.
Definitely. So anything else with this one before we move on?
I think that was it, yeah.
All right, next one. Picture You. Picture You. What do you think of this one?
This is another song that's very high on the list for the album for me. I think it's like reminiscent, but like not in a reminiscent kind of way. Like
Okay.
it's like it's letting someone know how much they think about them, but not in just a I used to think about you, like I still think about you.
Okay. I like it. Like, tell me your kinks. I'll go to the library and fucking research them and shit. Like, I don't know. I think it's a cool song. I love the way it's composed. I love the acoustic guitar with the heavy bass line and the bass coming in, and it gives me that Adele funk vibe a little bit too.
I think this almost gives me more of like a 50s, like a Stay With Me, like that kind of
it
era
has like
of
that
music.
old school like dum 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 dum
Yeah.
dum 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 dum. Like, I like it. This is my favorite song on the album. I'm going 5 out of 5 on this one.
Yeah, this one's very high on my list.
Yeah, this is I really like that. That's the song to beat for me. Track 9 is the track to beat for me when it comes to my favorite song on the album.
Only 5 more to go. Can it get bumped?
Number 10, where we got 5 more after this, 4 more after this, and this is called Kaleidoscope. Real quick, cut back in. Picture You, 113 million plays. Kaleidoscope at 57,000 plays. My Kink Is My Karma at 232. Picture You, another one I think is criminally low on the plays.
Yeah.
With almost the second lowest, the second lowest track on the album is Kaleidoscope, but with plays. So I'm interested to see how it translates to us, to how the world views it, because it is.
I think it's actually it's very telling of who we are as people, because even like when you look at like Not Cool at High School in general, a lot of the movies that people think are trash are the ones that we are more into, because I think it's more on not on a developmental level, but on a understanding level. And I think we are understanding people, and we reach for those deeper meanings where a lot of people just take things at surface level.
Yeah. So my 2 favorite songs so far, like Picture Me is still 113,000, which is really, really good. But Coffee is like 61,000, which is the third lowest on the album. With this, so leading into this, Kaleidoscope is what I'm saying. Let's see where what falls for us. All right. Kaleidoscope. What do you think?
I want your opinions on this first, because
right.
I have an idea of like what this means to me.
So It's gonna be weird because Kaleidoscope makes me want to up my score on track 8 for My Kink Is My Karma, because I think My Kink Is My Karma, Picture You, and Kaleidoscope are like chapter 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Like I think I don't know. I just think they tell a story there, and I think they all blend together very nice, and I think it puts a nice bow on this little section of the album where I feel like you're kind of telling a little bit of a story. I think this is the song, even though it's the second least played on the album, this is the song I feel like if you're doing a music competition or if you're at karaoke or you're going to do like a solo guitar or a solo piano player, I think this has that very Beatles, Hey Jude, Imagine John Lennon, where it's just a simple piano and just really test song structure and your vocal abilities. And I think this is the song that I think over the test of time of this album will be a song I think will stand stronger than any other thing on this album, because I think it's that song that you're like, I want to be a musician, I want to learn how to sing, I want to invoke emotion and sing a really powerful ballad, but I only need a simple piano to do it. And I think Kaleidoscope nails that for a song. Like, I think if when I hear American Idol or The Voice in the next 10 years, I think this is going to be a song that people sing that is like, it's simple, but it's powerful. 4 out of 5.
So now for meaning.
Yeah, it seems like there's very confused in the relationship, and are they going back to being friends? Kind of like picture, like, you know what I mean? Like, are they going to remain friends? Are they going to be together? Love is a mysterious thing that you don't understand, but like, love physically maybe doesn't have to end, but you can still be friends. But it's a whirlwind. It's very confusing on what love can be, especially when you're someone who can love, I guess, multiple genders at once. I can't relate to that. You know what I mean? Like, I can relate to that because love to me is different than, I think I perceive love differently. Like, I can love, I'm pansexual when it comes to mental connection. When it comes to, like, not physically. Physically, I'm very heterosexual. But mentally, I think I'm very pansexual.
I feel like you should say platonically.
I'm just using terms that I don't know.
Platonic means with friends.
Sure, platonic. But platonically, I'm pansexual. Where I can genuinely love anyone and really get to know them and truly love them for human beings. But when it comes to physical love, I'm very heterosexual. Like, sorry, I don't know. I'm not sorry, but like, yeah. But yeah, love is a kaleidoscope because, like I said, for me, like, love is like, there's a lot of people I love. I love a lot of people on really deep levels, and when people hurt you, even on a friendship level, like, that offends me or hurts me because I love hard. I do love my friends. I do love who I care about. And when I get done dirty, like, it's almost like a breakup. Like, it really bothers me in those ways where I think some people don't connect to people that way, and the only thing they do feel is that physical connection. So maybe I perceive this song differently than others just because I look at love differently. But go ahead.
Okay, so I look at this as a song of, I don't know who I am. Not that I don't know who I am, but very much like, you don't need to understand it. Like, no, go back to where you were, because I want to go into those lyrics that you were just at. Nope. In the chorus, she says, when you turn hold on. Turning to the left or to the right, color shining in your eye, and even upside down, it's beautiful somehow. I feel like that's very like, either you have to be this or you have to be that, and love isn't just straight or gay. There's so much in between, and all of it's beautiful. But not even just that, love being a kaleidoscope. Like, I feel like, and maybe this is me from a not straight perspective, I think that there are, I wouldn't say so much phases, it's not a phase, but I think that love can change so much. Like, I would say that at one point in time, I was a bisexual. I only wanted to be with men and women. But then the more that I learn about things, the more that I'm like, maybe I fit more into this group or fit into that group. But at the end of the day, it being this very big spectrum of love is love, and you don't have to understand what every single color is or what shape there is to it. Love can look in so many different forms, and just it being that it shouldn't matter what my love is or what it looks like, just know that I love you.
Yeah. There is no wrong way to look at a kaleidoscope, and everyone looks at a kaleidoscope differently, and each image that you turn that style is going to give you a different version of art or different feelings or emotions or invoke different things, and everyone's going to feel something different. Like there's a million different ways to look at a kaleidoscope, and everyone's going to see it a different way.
So when she's saying whether you're looking at it left, right, or upside down, it's still beautiful. And that's like that kaleidoscope. You change it even just a little bit, it's going to look completely different from when I'm holding it to when I hand it to you. Even that shift, it's going to change, and that doesn't make it any less beautiful.
I think too, like if you want to perceive or use the analogy of a kaleidoscope, it's like the world wants to be a certain way. They want a space
perfect
image,
color wheel,
and it's the perfect color wheel, and and everything has to be identified by that's red, that's yellow, this is this.
Right.
You can't blend this color with this color. And kaleidoscope is like, no, we're gonna smash everything together. And I think just when you're a person, you can change who you are and how you feel and how you love. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I think people think that you need to nail down how you feel or how you're going to be at a young age, and that's how you have to be, and you can't change and you can't adjust and you can't be something different or change your look or your style or the way you conduct yourself, or you're allowed to change. Change is part of human nature. Like I was kind of like last night when I was out, I'm not trying to bring up past relationship, but people kept asking like, oh, well, what happened? What's going on there? And I was like, listen, like at the end of the day, I don't know how they feel. I don't know how they coped, how they bonded. I genuinely hope they find happiness. And it goes for anybody, past friendships, anything. I generally just look at things now of like, I can't hold on to resentment because you're no longer in my life. Like, I hope you found happiness. If I've done something wrong to hurt you, I apologize. I'm still to this, like the last 2 years for me, I've bettered myself. I think I've explored more. I found who I am more, how to adjust things more, how to approach things more. And it's just like, maybe I lost track here what I'm saying, but like it's okay to change. It's okay to be something different. It's okay to want something different. It's okay to feel a different way, love a different way, respond a different way. Like
it's all part of growth.
Yeah, growth is important, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no blueprint. And if you're doing something different with your art or chasing your dreams or finding love or being who you are or loving how you love differently than you did 3 weeks ago, there's nothing wrong with that. Lean into it. Find out where it takes you. But also still kind of understand that every other person in your universe is all still looking at their own kaleidoscope. And maybe they're not seeing it the same way you're seeing it, which doesn't make them necessarily a bad person, unless your views are hurting people because you are actively trying to close their kaleidoscopes. Then go fuck yourself. But have more understanding of people, of how they handle situations or how they want to love or how they want to adjust. And maybe the person you're attaching yourself to isn't attaching them to yourselves to you anymore. Like it's a lot, and it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of different things, and it's understanding, compassion, and just change is good. We probably got way off base with that, but all right, next song, number 11.
Well, wait a minute, what's your score on that one?
Oh, that one I gave a 4. I gave it a high
that's
score.
my favorite one on the entire album.
I don't think it's better than Picture of You, but I
think you're wrong.
I think it's really, really good. All right, the next one here is going to be another popular one. This is going to be the hit song. This is going to be the song that we end the night with, but we're not going to right now. But I think if you've seen her live, she probably, I'm going to guess this is what, do you think this is the closing song, Pink Pony Club? Do you think this is how she ends the show?
I think this is how she just would open the show.
Open with Pink Pony Club? What do you think she ends with, Hot to Go?
Probably, yeah.
Send everybody home happy?
Yeah.
It's either Hot to Go or Pink Pony Club.
I think she opens with Pink Pony Club. I would say like Pink Pony Club is more.
So Hot to Go is her welcome home?
Let's just listen to it.
Hot to Go is her welcome home? Actually, I want to do something real quick. What's her name of her tour?
I don't know.
Hold on, we're going to Google this real quick. Not Google, but... So Spotify does this cool thing where you can find... So I don't know if this is it. That's probably not it. You can find, like, if your favorite person's on tour, you can go look at the playlist, and people make playlists of how the tour, like, what the tour is doing, and it kind of gives you the set list. And that's, I think that's kind of fun. I wouldn't do it on the way to a concert. I think I did that once, and it was a bad move. All right, so she opens the show with Phenomenon. Is how, according to this is the 2004 Chappell Row set list.
2004?
Yeah.
Was she born yet?
Huh? 2024. Sorry.
I was like, wait a minute.
The 2024 set list. Hot to Go is the 6th song on the set list. They did a Bad Romance cover.
So where's Pink Pony Club on it?
It ends the show. It's
Okay,
the
cool.
closer. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So we were close. One of those two were going to be it. But here we go. Pink Pony Club. All right. Pink Pony Club. Banger. Banger.
Banger, banger, banger.
Banger
yes.
song.
Now that you've read the lyrics with it, do you get where because I kind of gave you my interpretation of this before listening to this.
I have a different interpretation that may not be with other. But once again, I'm trying to also relate to music that I'm gonna be real. It's not made for me.
Right. It's not made for you.
Yeah. But I think I understand what they identify as a Pink Pony Club. It's like the club. It's the drag shows. It's where it's community. It's the party scene. It's where everyone can be themselves. It's where if you're gay, straight, pan, trans, whatever it may be, everyone's allowed to be there and everyone's allowed to feel happy and they can be club and they can express themselves any way they possibly can, and it's just acceptance. It's where you feel comfortable. It's what you love that maybe other people may not be into.
Right.
You know. So I'll say this. You know what my Pink Pony Club is? Professional wrestling.
Oh, I was going to say the cult. Like, I feel like it's not so much like pro wrestling is too. It's like I feel like it's not so much actually a club. We're not talking about going to the dancing club. It is that,
It's a sense of community. It's where you can go and be yourself and be unapologetic.
And have a group of your peers that are accepting of you and supportive of you as 100%.
Well. And you can let your freak flag fly. You can,
it's almost like
there's some Pink Pony clubs that we go to where I feel like you can, like the clubs that we go to are kind of, you're accepted however you want to be. You can present yourself however you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. There's, you know what I mean? Like that could be another version exploring your sexuality of like the club like that too.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was saying anymore. Go ahead.
The Pink Pony Club, like wrestling. It was what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying I was saying that like also another part in there that she was saying, or that the lyrics that she brings up are like, I want to leave Tennessee to go to Santa Monica, and then in the second verse she says like, I still see you Tennessee, but Santa Monica, you've been so good to me. And I feel like it's more of not necessarily where obviously she's not actually from Tennessee, but like, but what I mean is that like, it's that sense of that community and they don't care about where you're from or like what people thought about you back then. You can be here now and be with us and we're still going to support you no matter where you came from or where you're going. We got you here.
Is there a location on the earth that you have been or that you want to go that you feel is drawing you? Like you want to go to that area and just kind of, you just feel drawn to it?
You mean like Hollywood?
Anything.
Like that
scene,
feeling of like I want to go
location.
There? I really, I think that it's gonna sound so wild, but I think that like Transylvania like is huge for me. Like I really want, like I want to go see Spain, like where my family came from and all the stuff like that. But I feel like there's always been something like not just like on a vampire level, but there's always been something that's like I've seen the castles there and just the scenery and the nature and everything around it. Like I feel like I could fully immerse myself there and just be my little goth sad person without being like judged on like, oh, why are you so negative all the time? I'm not. I mean, maybe I am, but I mean like it's kind of just that acceptance.
I feel like when people say I want to go to the West Coast or the East Coast or I want to go to New York or I want to go to Florida or I want to go to Hawaii or I want to go to Hollywood or San Francisco. For me, I've always felt that way to the UK.
Right.
And when I finally got there, like it's gloomy, it's rainy, it's everything, but also there's beauty in it. There's history, there's blue collarness, there's royalty, there's fashion, there's queer culture, there's punk, there's rock. There, like everything about London like drew me. I was like, man, if I ever go there, I feel like I would fit in so well. And then I went and I was like, I would fucking live here. Like now that Jackie lives there and James lives there, I'm like, man, Being there for a week was perfect for me too. Like if I only went for 2 or 3 days, I don't think you would feel that. But being there for a week and just walking the streets and just walking through neighborhoods and towns, it's everything I love about small town Pennsylvania, but having a bigger vibe of a New York where there's so many different cultures there too. And I loved it. Like that's how she was saying I'm being drawn to Santa Monica. I feel that in the song with like London to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. A public, you don't need a car. You don't have to rely on things. You can just go and get on a train and go. Maybe that's a big city vibe too that I would like, but where I maybe live on.
I would like just freaking public transportation would be nice. You know?
Yeah, I want to hang out with my friend today, but my car sucks, or I don't feel like driving.
No, I mean like we don't even have a bus.
I'll get on a fucking train.
We can't even get on a bus where we live.
I know, it sucks.
There's no buses here.
Yeah. But even like getting on the train, like you're kind of people watching and you can meet new people and spark up conversation of like, London has the big city feel of like a New York, I would feel. I've never been in New York City, but also have that, they're not afraid to have a conversation with you, or they're not afraid to stop and have a chat. You know what I mean? Where like New York, everyone's kind of like, get the fuck out of my face. You know what I mean? Like those bigger American city vibes are like, I'm only worried about myself. Like London, I was there and people were like, I want to learn about you. And I was like, I like that feeling.
Right.
Like, I don't know, I thought it was really cool.
I guess I can't say I've really ever experienced that.
4.5 out of 5. I'm not going to give it the full 5. I'm not going to give it a 4. It definitely meets in the middle. I think it's the poppy hit song that it needs to be, but it also has a meaning that people should understand too. Mm-hmm. So I think it has that good crossover of like, picture you, realness, coffee, realness, but also blends in that hot to go, but there's a real meaning here, but it still has that bop feel to it as well. Yeah.
Vibe to it.
It's a dancey, like Hey Ya. Hey Ya is like a really good song where it's like, oh, there's something happening here.
And that's a real serious song.
But also we're gonna dance to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a Pink
Shake
Pony
it like
Club.
a Polaroid picture,
Yeah,
you know?
Pink Pony Club gives me that vibe too. What about you? Score.
It gives me more of this song specifically has like more of an 80s vibe for me, but like I feel like the guitar in it gives me almost like a Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
But I think at the beginning of the song, it's very much more Bohemian Rhapsody. Like the very slow opening and like not alluding to their mom, like leaving their mom behind. And obviously it's not the same situation, but kind of that like making it from a ballad to like, okay, and now we're going to go in.
Yeah, it definitely does change tempo a lot. I like it. It's a banger. I think it's one of those songs I think is people like, it's overplayed, but I like, fuck it, overplay it. I think the world needs it. Pink Pony Club, love you. Naked in Manhattan. Can I go first on this one?
You've been.
Oh, sorry, you want to go
No,
first.
I mean, like, you're good, go ahead. I was expecting you to, is what I meant.
I get, maybe it's just Manhattan and New York and the whole nine, but I get like a Sex and the City vibe. Where like, so I envision like she's with a girl and she's having that like girl, best friend girl vibes, but she has more feelings for the girl than maybe the girl has for her. And she's like, are we just girlfriend? I think girls have this ability that they can be like naked around each other or do things with it around each other, and nobody really fucking cares. Like you're more comfortable with your own body that you can like, you go to the bathroom together or like stuff like that, or like I'm trying on outfits and like not being naked.
All right, I'm about to say something.
Let me say something real quick. Hold on.
No,
like,
I get what you're saying.
Like I feel like girls have a better connection when it comes to guys, where they can do. I think guys can too. I think also like where guys are like, oh, look at my dick, bro. Like there's weird, like I don't know.
I'm gonna say something so
there could be
controversial.
crossover tension, but if you're also someone who is into girls, but maybe your girl sees you as just her girly, but not her like. She's not into girls in that way. I feel like there's confusion in this song when she's like, I really like you as a friend, but also like I can fuck you. Like, I don't know, like that's where I kind of see this song. I hope I probably butchered that in my analogy, but go ahead.
No, I get what you're saying. I think that, here's my controversial pick. I think guys could do that too, but guys are much more judgmental, where girls
100%.
are like, just, hey, just be you. Like, I feel like, now don't get me wrong, girls are girls' worst enemies at the same time. But when you feel comfortable around something, like I don't go to the bathroom with my girlfriend so that I can watch them pee. It's gonna sound like, I don't know, maybe this is just me and my anxieties, but when I go with someone to the bathroom, it's because I don't know what could happen like especially in a club scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know what could happen on the way to the bathroom or on the way back. So I take my girls with me. But also, as far as the song goes, like, yeah, I would say that this is like we're trying to go off these blurred lines of like, are we just friends? Are we something more? As far as the Sex and the City thing, I would agree that it has kind of that vibe. But it's also, to me, it's very M83. I don't know if you wouldn't know them, but just by their name. But like the song Midnight City, it gives a lot of those same vibes of like, we're here to have fun. Maybe we could have more fun, but like, let's just see where the night takes us. Like I'm cool with it going for more. I'd like it if we went for something more, but if it's not, I'm still here to vibe with you.
Have you ever been in a situation where
Yes.
you had a situation where like you're into a girl, but you're just friends? She just sees you as a friend, but you're obviously she doesn't know
I've been in love
you're
with my best friend before, so like.
where you wanted more physical, and you knew that wasn't what they were about at all.
She is very, very straight. Like she is very, very straight. But she's gorgeous to begin with. We're not really as close as we used to be, but I vibed with her so hard as a person, and then like, I mean, yeah, like I said, she was my best friend, but I felt like a lot mentally we connected, and like, first of all, you are an amazing partner, so I don't want this to be taken out of context, but I felt like she could look at my face and just be like, okay, we're dropping everything right now. What's going on? Like, you...
I try to do that, and I get fucking met with the war of
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want to, if you want to go into that, you get met with the war of Satan because I'm usually overstimulated. Let me rephrase that. She could tell when I'm overstimulated and say, okay, let's stop. You're like, I have to be watching a YouTube video while I'm listening to music, while I'm also trying to edit things, and I can't have you bug me right now. So if you're going to have a breakdown about something that's trivial, you need to tell me why, and you need to tell me now. And I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm already overstimulated,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get me to just...
That's fair.
Like, I can't. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you do that purposefully or maliciously, but usually when I'm at that point already and you're like, what's wrong? I'm like, fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Because
My
I want to be like, fucking
my,
everything.
My ADHD is locked in, and I see you need help, and I'm like, can we just get the cliff notes and fix you quicker?
Right.
And it's more on me and not on you.
I'm not saying that it's on you, but we
No, it's
definitely
definitely more
we think
of a-
of things...
I'm not
we
meeting
handle
you at your
things
level
differently.
because I'm more thinking about, I'm being selfish.
I don't think you're being selfish. I think that we just handle things differently. We
Yeah.
don't... when I want to sit and talk is when everything's quiet and we can focus on what I want to sit and talk about. And you're someone who...
My quiet time is I want to be quiet. I don't want to talk at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I was saying though was how you handle things is and everything that you do is very much I can do 17 things at once. And my brain is like I can do one. So if like I know that this isn't I'm not going to say that this bothers you, but something that I think bothers me in general is like when I go out to hang out with friends, like I feel like I'm not giving you enough attention, but I'm incapable of having a conversation with someone and texting someone at the same time.
Yeah, no,
I cannot do that.
No, I want that. Like, go do your thing.
No, but I mean, like, you can sit and have a conversation with someone and be texting somebody else about something else and talking to this person about the podcast and talking to this person about the wrestling show that's going on next month or 2 months from now and editing stuff and watching wrestling at the same time. And then I'm like, hey, really quick, can you look at this? And you're like, I'm in the middle of stuff. You get overstimulated too.
Yeah.
But then when you're like, hey, like, or if I start like freaking out or something, you're like, okay, well, you want to talk about it? No, not when all this shit's going on. Like,
Yeah.
I can't focus on it.
It was
But
a weird,
again,
it was a
that's
weird detour from your girl crush.
way far detour. But my point being with her, I do feel like there was a best friend that I had that I could easily see, like, you were my soulmate. Like, if you ever wanted to be with me, if you ever wanted to try out lesbianism or be with a girl, like, please call me first because you're perfect for me.
Yeah.
But and it didn't end up being like she was just like, yeah, no, that's straight up not me. But I felt I had that connection with her like a couple of months into meeting her, and we had a friendship that was really strong. And like she went with me to Pride events. Like, she was my go-to for like, she was the first person I called for Pride, and she just wanted to go to have fun. And
Yeah.
like, she very much was an ally, but that just wasn't her thing. But I was always very much like, I'll be your second string. I'll be your side fling. You know, if you just whatever. I just want to be in your presence. I want to be with you.
Like, I feel like I could be that way with other females too, where you're like, I could be your homie, I could be friends, we could be cool, I could be your crying shoulder, I vibe with you. If you want to make it physical, I'm down with that too, but it doesn't, we're not going to cross
But it's not right.
We're not going to cross a
And
line of like, you can still go be physical with other people and do your own thing and live
Yeah.
your life. Like, our physicality, I hope it doesn't change our friendship. I don't want on my end, but I can see how it would make you feel on yours, type deal.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not even. Yes, but
Like,
I
if
mean,
you
like
and that
from where
friendship would have
but
gotten physical, you wouldn't have been like.
I'm not even talking about that though. I mean, like, yes, I am, but I'm saying that like that was never. It was never on the table.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't like, hey, I'm hanging out with girls that fuck guys. I was trying to hang out with a girl that fucks guys that I was trying to like. Not that I was trying to, but I wanted her to be interested in a woman.
Yeah.
Like, if she was interested in a woman, like, I never had a chance. I never had that
Yeah,
chance.
yeah.
The only chance that was ever there was that we were ever going to be friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's not a possibility for you with female friends, but I mean, like, there is still kind of a chance that you're hanging out with a straight girl that she might want to fuck a guy, like, have a dick in her. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
if I'm hanging out with a straight girl, there's pretty much, I couldn't get her to kiss me when she was drunk. Like, it was such a far no for her.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm the dude version of that girl. Like, sorry, you're like I'm trying to put myself in the situation of being her, of like if it was a dude with me,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
gay dude with me, like I like you, you're attractive, I like your vibe, I would be with you, but
like, I'll be your best friend. I
will
would love
never
to
do
hang out with
anything-
you, but
yeah.
it's never gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
shitty
there you go.
feeling, but also I could,
But I mean, again, as far as this song goes, I think this is I enjoy this song
That's
a
the
lot
vibe
too.
I get from this
But
song.
that is the vibe of like,
Yeah.
please, I want you. But if you don't want me, it's okay. Like,
That's
I
fine.
still just want you to be my friend. Like, I still
Absolutely.
want you in my life. You still mean a lot to me.
another queer culture struggle, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it that one.
All right. Next song, California. Now, we've already learned that definitely that West Coast is where Chappell, or what do they call her, Shappy or something? I heard the one interview kind of shorten it.
I haven't.
I'm not cool with her on that level. I'm not going to give her a name that she doesn't.
Can I say one other thing really
Yeah.
quick? So we went. You asked me before about collabs, and the last song, she says, "What is it? Do you want to listen to Lana?" Or
Lana.
we're listening to Lana, and I'm like, Lana Del Rey. Yes, I need a chaperone with Lana Del Rey, but also I think with Halsey, the last song,
Yeah.
I think that would be a great Halsey to Halsey be with her, and then. Two other people that were coming to mind while listening to the album were Bishop Briggs, Like a River. Do you know the song? Like a river, right?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. I think that would be another good one. And hear me out on this one. Hot take, Paris Paloma. She does feminist songs, but they're very much done in a more serious note. And I think that her and Chappell could like songwrite together. But I feel like Chappell would make it to where I'm not saying that it's more easily digestible.
Yeah.
Like where people put it on and be like, "Oh, this is catchy, da da da," and then when you're listening to the lyrics, like you're blown
I want
away.
to dive into this, but I think it'll give away something later in the podcast when we do the wrap up. So I'm gonna hold off on my thought with that. But
Okay.
I see where you're coming from. I do know there's one other person or two other people I would want her to collaborate with.
Oh, yeah.
But they're more of not her generation, and I think it'd be
Sarah Bareilles.
fun. Yeah. All right, California. All right, California. What do you think?
I think this is very. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. That I wanted it to be all of this, and I was so close to getting there, and I failed. And maybe it's not everything that I dreamt it would be, but it still got me somewhere. But I miss my roots.
Yeah.
But I also feel like knowing her story now, I think that's exactly what the piece is about. That I had it and I had to give up on all of it, but I still at least got to experience something out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I said in the beginning, I said, oh, California, she's been attached to that place for a while. I wonder how the song plays out, because it seemed like everything you've been hearing, I love California, I love here, I love Santa Monica, I love Hollywood. And then she makes a song called California. You think it's going to be upbeat, positive about California. It's like, no, it was fun. I had some good things. Everything there I'm attached to. Everything I love is there. Everything I want is there. But I miss home.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a cool song. I gave it a 3.5. I think it is lower on the plays when it comes here. This is where the album really I guess peters out. And I guess when you make an album, you want that. We want to start hot, have a little dip, but keep everything going, and then just ease people out with the end of the album. And I think California is the way to do it. The next song, Guilty Pleasures, is going to be the lowest played song on the album. I don't think California is a bad song. I gave it a 3.5. Same with Naked in Manhattan, where you do see it kind of trickle down here at the end, and the good pacing of an album. And yeah, I thought California was really good. Anything you want to add before we close out with Guilty Pleasure?
I think that the other thing I'd like to say about, I can't remember the name of the artist, but the song California. California, here we come, right?
Oh, I was thinking California, rest in
That's
peace.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
I would know who that is. But I mean that California of like, here I'm coming to it, and it's almost like that soft ballad. I feel like this is almost a reprise to that of like California, like I had all these dreams for you, but take me out now, like the take me out, me out of California, or come get me out.
Come get me. Yeah, come pick me up. Come get me, Mom.
Yeah.
All right, Guilty Pleasures. Guilty Pleasure. She's found someone. She's into the person, and they're teaching her a whole new fucking side of kinks.
Here's one for you. Are they, or does she want to?
Maybe a little bit of both. I think that song shouldn't be that lowly played. I think that's a good song. That's a banger. I gave that a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I don't think that should be at 47 million plays. I think that holds true with the rest of the album, and I thought it was a good song. Liked it. Very, very Gaga. I got a lot of Gaga on that.
I get I can't think of what it's called. What do you want me to be? It's like the 80s song. You're my obsession.
Yeah,
Dun, dun, dun,
I can feel
dun.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what else is here. All right, there's no other bonus tracks. There's no deluxe editions for this. Yeah, so
The new album's coming out soon, though. All those pictures at the bottom that you were just looking at are from the new album.
This.
Yep, the construction worker, the dentist.
So there's new stuff coming.
Yeah, she said she was taking off from November to May to work on it.
Okay.
To work on
so
this
the
new
song
album,
that she's releasing is there's Good Luck Babe was a single.
Oh, has she already dropped them?
So there's a song called Good Luck Babe single, and then there is a song The Giver, which is a single.
Yeah, that just came out a few days ago, I think.
Okay. So yeah, they're on tour.
No, The Giver is going to be the name of the new album. Also.
Well, the song is called The Giver too.
Okay.
27 million plays so far. It's gonna be interesting to see where they go. So some people that say if you like Sabrina Carpenter on this list, Charlie XCX,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, Lola Young, Gracie Abrams, Dolce, Gigi Perez, Doja, Addison Rae, Hozier, Billie Eilish, Paris Paloma,
That's who I said. Paris Paloma should do something with
Tate McRae,
McRae.
The Bleachers, Olivia Rodrigo,
Mm-hmm.
Raven Lene. She has beautiful hair. Bia Doa Du B,
Oh, I don't know.
the Asian girl.
I can't see what's on your
Ogman
screen
Heap,
from here.
which looks pretty wild. But yeah, these are all the people that you're like. If you like Doja, you would like these other people too.
If you would like Doja. If
Not
you like
Doja.
Chappell.
If you like Chappell, Roan, that. So just to kind of pull up real quick, reception of this album is a critically acclaimed response, according to reviews and Metacritics. It album have received universal acclaim based on the weight and average score of 85 out of 100 from 7 critic scores. Olivia Horn from Pitchfork called the album bold and uproarious introduction. What else we got? It has won Alternative Press Best of 50 Albums, Best of 50 Albums of 2023. Billboard. Trying to see what else it won. The Music Award for Best International Artist, Danish Music Awards for Best Album of the Year, Grammys, Pop Album of the Year nominated, and Best Vocal Pop Album nominated, but I don't think they won, which is, I think, a bummer. Trying to see what else we got here. That's pretty much all I got. Peak position for Argentina, so like all top 50, all top 100. U.S. Billboards ranked number 2 for a while there. Yeah, it's doing really well, really popular. When it comes for me to this album, let me kind of go back to my other set of notes here. Favorite parts are things you liked throughout the album. I think we talked about that when it came to music and songs as we went.
Yeah.
Overall impressions, has it changed? I guess, has it changed for you? I mean, you're a fan. You're a fan of
Yeah,
them.
I would say that. I don't think that. Well, I mean, I would say that it changed from prior to listening to the album to me actually sitting down and listening to the album. Not this time, but I mean, the first time I actually sat down and listened to it, I was like, wow, I really connect with her more than I thought I was going to.
Okay. This is an artist for me that I came in knowing two songs. One was like an overplayed, how you said, very poppy. The other one is just kind of now popping off now. And I listened to it and I was like, it's fine. Like, I don't hate it. But like, I said,
So,
listening. So when we had a conversation in the car, I said, I think people are treating her like the next Madonna. I'm treating her like the next Cher or the next Lady Gaga. I'm not sure if she's there yet. And I said, like, for me, I don't think vocally she stands out like any of those other people. But I will say, songwriting wise, I think she's up on that par. And I think after listening now to an entire album, I think vocally she's very solid. I think she's very, very good. One of the people I said collaboration wise, I think Madonna. I think she can be the next Madonna, the next Lady Gaga, the next. I think she can be that next cultural icon. After listening to this album, I have a new respect for her. I think she's very, very talented. And I'm excited to see the rest of her career and how she develops and grows as an artist and as a person. I think as an album, I think it was paced very well. I think it told a story of struggling with your sexuality and moving across the world and chasing your dreams and being homesick and discovering yourself and partying and exploring drugs and sex and rock and roll. I think that's all there too, of chasing art and dreams. I think as an album, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I want to give it that 4.5 out of 5. It's that good.
that's where I would give it.
I'm between a 4 or 4.5 out of 5. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic album. And I'm glad I reviewed it. I'm glad I consumed it. I'm glad I know more now about Chappell Roan.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you listened to it. Because, like, I think I brought it up to you a few weeks ago that, like, oh, like, because I think, so we usually just throw on whoever is driving, the other person puts their phone on to listen to music. And
Go ahead.
9 times out of 10, like, I mean this so respectfully, but if it's a song you don't like, you're like, okay, put this on, put this on, put this on. And I just threw on my soundtrack of, like, or my library of songs that were on there, and I'm like, okay, I know this is Chappell Roan and it's not really your jam, but we're gonna listen to it because I've been listening to her, and I think that you should, like, give it a shot. And I feel like that was myself the advice that I wish I would have taken like a year ago when she was popping off everywhere, that, like, just give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm kind of a nightmare when it comes to consuming new content because I want to consume it here in this platform with y'all. So when we're laying in bed at night and I'm like, she's like, I want to put this movie on. I'm like, I want to watch that with a camera in front of me. I know it sounds stupid and silly, but like, if I want to be a content creator and I want to talk about it, I want that genuine authenticity of experiencing it, turning a camera on and talking to you about it. This isn't something I thought of an idea of how my perceptions are going to be. Like, I'm consuming it and being straight honest to you of how I feel
Directly after consuming
and I don't
it.
want to watch something and then come back later and do that. I think it loses what I want to do as a content creator and how I want to present my content to people. So I hope, let me know in the comments if you guys listened along with us, if you listened to this and then went back and listened to the album. If you listened to the album and then came and joined us, I think we should have said in the beginning, you probably should go track by track and then hang out with us, but maybe we'll do that in the future. Maybe we're still fighting ourselves as how we're going to do reviews when it comes to movies and music. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Let us know in the comments of some music or some albums or artists that we should check out, or movies in general. So we're going to be bouncing between movies and music here on the Not Cool in High School, maybe some other things too. But we'll thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm not looking forward to editing all the music aspect out of this, but like I said, I'm going to be as honest and authentic as I can. Lily, where can people find and support you?
Okay, so we're going to go with the business side of things. I think from here on out, because of personal things getting crazy, I'm going to stick to all of my links being on my business page. So you can find me on Facebook at WitchCraftsByLilly or Fighting with Fashion on Facebook. And Instagram, WitchCraftsByLilly. TikTok is WitchCraftsByLilly13, all one word. And or you can find me on, you know, a bunch of ABJ's podcasts. I pop in frequently. We do Blazing Buds together and, you know, reviews here and there. So
Yeah, a lot of recent content she's been joining me on. I'm not saying I'm kicking her off or you're not going to see it all the time, but there is some times where I do want to stand on my own as a content creator. I do like vibing off of her and talking to her and chatting with her, and I love having her a part of it. But there may be some times where maybe they're not on camera. Don't think anything weird of it. It's just I still want to stand on my own as a solo person. But a lot of the stuff you're going to see will be with Lily because we're always together and we are exploring this art together. The next album is something that was picked out. I picked out Chappell. Chappell. That was
Roan.
Chappell Roan. That was something I picked out. The next one we're going to be reviewing album-wise is going to be The Search by NF. It has been requested by a lot of people to me that I should listen to NF, that I would like him, that I would be into it. So
we're
this
taking
is
a little bit of a turn here
Yeah,
from
so-
Chappell Roan to NF.
So this is something Lily picked. That's gonna be the next album review we're gonna do. If you see us wearing the same clothes, it's because we did it the same day. A lot
It's
of
actually
content,
funny,
we don't have a lot of free time, and especially with weekends coming up, we were actually not supposed to even be home this weekend, but you know, cancels and changings and financials and money, which is all changing soon with our jobs and stuff, which is exciting. But this is like that kind of first weekend where we maybe shot ourselves a little too far ahead before we could, of saying we're going to go to a city and go do our thing. The car's not the greatest right now. We're trying to really be careful, and we are still doing a trip in 2 weeks to Philly, so maybe not doing 2 trips back to back would be
Right.
smarter, and we just kind of played it off. We're bummed that we did miss, you know, great shows and great events, but I think it was for the best this time around until we get more on our feet. But a lot of content will be coming. Thank you guys so much. But we try to clam a bunch in one day and then have it spaced out throughout the month. So we have like a day where we just sit down and consume a bunch of stuff, which I think is fun. And we're going to do that today with music, 2 music albums and probably a couple movies, because it's going to take a quick break here and then record the next. But it's like almost 2 o'clock and we still have a lot of daylight left and a lot of day. People are hammering in the background. I hope you guys don't pick that up. But we'll see you on the next one. Not Cool in High School. We're out of here.